am I the a-hole for asking my friends and family to help me pay child support to my ex? I broke up with my ex when she got pregnant. The reason being, we didn't do the deed for 15 weeks. I worked for 6 weeks, then I get 3 weeks off. During the 3 weeks I was home, we didn't do it. My grandfather had passed away, so I went to my grandma's house to help her. So there was a period of 15 weeks where any kid she got pregnant with was not mine. I was home for 5 days of those 3 weeks, but we didn't get intimate. Just making sure that everyone understands before they comment. She didn't tell our friends and family that information though, so they all thought I was just an irresponsible a-hole who knocked her up and ran away. On the off chance that she got pregnant before those 15 weeks and she just didn't know, I said that I would agree to get back together and pay child support if it was mine. She said she didn't want me back, just child support. So be it. I understand how evil I would be if I was wrong. I was not. Baby boy was born after the right amount of pregnancy for it to have happened, while I was not the father. A bunch of our friends and family are insisting that I should pay child support because we were together when she got pregnant. She even tried taking me to court. I just paid a lawyer to deal with her. I'm not the father. We weren't living together. I'm not on the birth certificate. This is not my problem. She's going around crying to people that I'm a monster for leaving her like this, that she would never have had a baby if she had known I wouldn't stick around to help, blah blah blah. Most people are on my side now, but not my mom, my sister, one of my aunts, and several friends. So I made a public Facebook post saying that everyone who thought I should pay child support could sign a contract stating that they would help pay the child support and I would match whatever they paid. But it had to be a legal contract and it had to be for 18 years. Nobody signed up. I posted screenshots of messages I had gotten from all of them saying that I needed to step up. I got blocked a lot. My sister, who is friends with my ex, said I was an a-hole for expecting other people to pay child support for a kid that wasn't theirs. I took a screenshot of that message, and it is the header of my profile on Facebook. My sister blocked me. My mom finally understands that I am not willing to throw away money. She is just sad because my ex is her friend's daughter. This whole thing made me come off as an ass, but I don't think I'm the a-hole for pointing out their hypocrisy. Edit: when I say I was not, I meant that we got a paternity test and proved I am not the father. I didn't just go by time or anything like that. Now for the top comments. My sister, who is friends with my ex, said I was an a-hole for expecting other people to pay child support for a kid that wasn't theirs. But it's fine for her to expect you to pay for a kid that isn't yours? Hypocrisy at its finest. It was sweet, sweet petty revenge to put that screenshot as his Facebook header. I cackled. Why isn't she going after the real father for child support? This isn't your problem. Probably because she either doesn't know who the real baby daddy is, or she does know but can't say because he's already got a wife. Either way, like you said, ain't OP's problem. Either of those, yeah, or he's broke and OP isn't. Probably this, broke loser knocking up someone else's girl. Now she's stuck with a broke loser, and is harassing the not broke dude who wasn't stupid enough to get her pregnant. If the kid isn't really yours, not a-hole. She not only cheated, but got pregnant with another guy's child, and she expects you to pay child support? And I like your idea of the friends and family that keep pushing you to pay it, to match their contribution. But the execution might have been not the best, putting it all in social media. I would just ignore or block the people that would tell me to pay child support if I was in such a situation. Your ex is the biggest a-hole here if the kid is not yours. Next story. Am I the a-hole for leaving my ex and her daughter after discovering she isn't mine? I, 28 male, have a 5-year-old daughter Lily with my ex-girlfriend Sarah, 27 female. At least I thought she was my daughter. Sarah and I dated for a few years, and when she got pregnant, I was over the moon. I was excited to be a dad and took on the role wholeheartedly. From the moment Lily was born, I noticed she didn't really look like me, but I brushed it off. Babies change a lot, right? As she grew older though, the differences became more pronounced. She had none of my features. None at all. It started to nag at me, but I pushed those thoughts aside, feeling guilty for even questioning it. A few months ago, I finally gave in to the doubt that had been gnawing at me. I ordered a paternity test without telling Sarah. When the results came back, my heart sank. I wasn't Lily's biological father. I felt like my world had been turned upside down. I confronted Sarah, and after a lot of tears and arguing, she admitted that she had cheated on me around the time Lily was conceived. I was devastated. The little girl I'd raised and loved wasn't mine. I felt like my entire relationship with Sarah was a lie. I couldn't look at Lily the same way, knowing that her biological father was out there somewhere, so I decided to leave. I packed my things and moved out, leaving Sarah and Lily behind. Since then, Sarah, her friends, and even some of my own family have been calling me an a-hole for abandoning Lily. They say that biology doesn't matter, that I raised her and she sees me as her father. They accuse me of being heartless and cruel for walking away from a little girl who loves me. I get messages and calls almost daily, calling me out for my decision. It's been tough. I feel guilty because I know Lily doesn't understand why I'm not around anymore. But at the same time, I can't shake the feeling of betrayal and a constant reminder that she isn't mine. I don't know how to be there for her without feeling like a fraud. I didn't sign up to raise another man's child, especially without my knowledge. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for leaving? Should I have stayed in Lily's life despite everything? Or was I right to walk away? Guessing you're on the birth certificate. Don't do anything that's going to put you at risk legally or financially. I have a lawyer working on getting me off the birth certificate. Does she know who Lily's father is? It would be best to get her actual father involved. If he isn't willing to collect support and she can stay a single mom, don't feel bad. Did she? Nope. She only feels bad she lost you as her support, and probably her reputation. I'm not sure if she knows or not. I brought it up and she claims she doesn't know, but I don't really believe her. How could she not know? It's either the other guy if she knows his name, or she slept with multiple people at that time. Exactly. Gotta love how everyone is flaming Opie and glossing over the fact that this is only happening because she was cheating and sleeping around. You shouldn't have to stay to raise her a fair baby and not face the consequences of her own actions. Some people are wild. I like how no one asks you in your inner circle if you are okay. That had to be pretty emotionally hurtful and damaging to find out. Plus, all the years of deceit. They just focus on guilting you about the little girl. I get their point, because yes, kids don't understand at this age, but you still need some time to adjust to this shocking news. It's okay to take a step back and figure out what you want to do. Yes, you can still be there for the little girl if you want to, but right now, you just need to get your emotional footing on all of this. Not a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for saying okay when my girlfriend broke up with me over disciplining my own daughter? I, 30s male with 3 kids and ex-girlfriend 30s female with 1 kid recently broke up. We had dated for almost 3 years. We had been learning to function as a blended family. I own my home and she rents, but she'd stay over every weekend and the entire summer. I thought everything had been solid, but looking back at it all, it wasn't. Her belief in parenting is opposite of mine. She believes kids shouldn't be punished, as you got to look at their heart. My belief is, if the child does something bad, they should be punished. My ex's child is completely out of control. She spits at her mom and my kids, talks back, punched and kicked her mother when she doesn't get what she wants, tell her mother I hate you and shut up if she doesn't get her way, and falls on the ground screaming in public and private, literally for an hour, until her mother buys her what she wants. For the latter, towards the end of the relationship I would take my kids, and either leave or go elsewhere, as I was embarrassed. My ex-girlfriend's punishment? Giving her daughter a hug while the daughter screams, "Get off me!" and kicking her in the stomach and slapping her. My ex would say she doesn't know how to calm herself down. Her heart is good because she just wants the item. Or, it's not her fault, I spoiled her, as she buys what her daughter demanded. This annoyed me. Her child is 5 and mine are all under 10. I've mentioned her that this behavior was not good because it'll eventually carry over into school. She said it wouldn't happen in school, so I let it go. But in my opinion, it's obviously not working. In addition, it's teaching her to be violent to get what she wants, which results in jail/prison time as an adult. My oldest has some mental health issues, and I've been working with her therapist to help her. Unfortunately, she has an at-home stealing, lying, and peeing problem. But at school, she's on honor roll. I'm confused. Over the weekend, she somehow found my hidden energy drinks. I should have kept them in my room, but I'm weaning myself off of them. She drank several of them and hid the cans in my guest room. I found them and told her how dangerous it was to do that, and said that she's grounded. The next day, my ex woke me up and said, "I don't like how you dealt with your oldest. I think maybe we should break up." In the past, she said that I was too strict. As an example, during our mild winter, her daughter walked and stomped on a frozen pound on my yard. I told her not to do this, as it's extremely dangerous. I did not raise my voice, nor was I angry. I was worried for her safety. But the ex said that's too strict. I asked how, and her response was something along the lines of letting kids experiment. I wanted to say, with death? I was confused after she mentioned breaking up, as I had just woken up, so I just said, okay. She asked if I had anything more to say, and I said that we have a difference in parenting, so it is what it is, I guess, and that I just need my keys and hoodie back. She also said that she loved me and hoped that we could still text. I told her no. I then went back to bed after receiving the items and making sure she left. I could tell that she was hoping that I'd put up a bigger fight, as she looked disappointed when leaving. I still care about her, but then started thinking deeper about her actions. 1, she refused to work and said maybe in 10 years she'd be ready. I've discussed before that I cannot support 2 additional bodies financially. She's used to staying at home, getting assistance and child support, and doesn't want to work in an office. 2, she doesn't help clean. Her house is a mess. It always said that she has to learn how to clean, but it was always left to my kids and I. Her child obviously threw a fit when I asked her to help clean her mess. 3, on 2 occasions she punched me when she got drunk. She admitted to having a drinking issue, and I tossed all alcohol in my house after the second incident months ago. As I look back, I realized that this probably wasn't a healthy relationship. I apologized to my kids for allowing all of this to occur. I vented to my parents, and they said that disciplining your own daughter for bad behavior is always fine. They mentioned that she wasn't the one for me. But I'm open to hearing what others believe. I know that physical violence is not acceptable, and I've told her this as well. She was very apologetic, but it did make me nervous. You're not the a-hole. Parenting styles clash sometimes, but ignoring serious behavior issues isn't the answer. You're right to be concerned about your ex's approach. Sounds like there were deeper issues in the relationship beyond just discipline. Trust your instincts and focus on what's best for you and your kids. Thank you. My issue is that I become blinded by love, I guess. So I didn't notice the bigger red flags until it was over. I care about her daughter, so I tried my best to assist with the behavioral issues. But I'm going to take this alone time to work on myself and my kids. She must have been wild in the sack for you to put up with someone who doesn't work, doesn't clean, and has a demon kid. Your kids have to be your highest priority. Your ex's kid wasn't her priority. Her ideology, and more probably ego, was. She has saw how badly it was working in practice, and yet still clung to it. Not a-hole. She sounds like a loser and a crappy parent. I'd say she sounds like a dumpster fire. Is she that charismatic or pretty? Because I can't imagine any other reasons to get together with a disaster that refuses to work to support herself, abuse people physically, and raises a future bully who will 100% go on to make teachers and other kids' lives hell at school. In my opinion, I might have ignored the red flags as we were in non-stop communication, loved working out and hiking, and enjoyed the same shows. I figured the issues may be smaller and can be fixed later. But I was wrong, and that was selfish of me as it impacted my kids. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not childproofing our new house for my nephew? Our old house was super childproof. We bought a new house and have moved in. We didn't bother with childproofing our new house since we feel like our daughter is old enough. We had family over a couple weeks ago for the first time. My sister had a rough time because she had to keep a constant watch on her son. He's an older kid, but he is severely developmentally delayed and gets into things. Later, she talked about waiting until we installed the childproofing stuff before they visited again. We told her we had no plans to install that stuff because our daughter didn't need it anymore. We also didn't keep any of it, so we would have to buy it again. Family has offered to pay for new childproofing stuff, but it just seems like a hassle. I swear that stuff is just made to be aggravating. And we like having our house how it is, so we don't want it. We've been told we're being mean and exclusionary to not accommodate him. Our place generally has always been the meeting place for the family since we have the most space and backyard and are centrally located to everyone. We also like hosting though, so it's not like people are taking advantage. I think my sister could just keep a closer watch on her son, but apparently that's too hard to do constantly. She says she has to do that everywhere else already, and we took away one of the few places that was safe for him. She says if our house stays how it is, it's going to be too much trouble for her to come. Yesterday, we had a barbecue for Memorial Day and she did end up not coming, which also meant her daughter couldn't come and she likes coming. So now it's our fault she doesn't get to come to family gatherings anymore. I wouldn't do it. I did it for my sister's kids. It's expensive and time-consuming, and I hated having to fight to open doors and cabinets. And sister and her hubby thought it was a free pass to not watch their kids, and a bunch of stuff got broken or destroyed anyway. Not a-hole. 100%. I have a 2.5-year-old and can't wait to get rid of all the childproofing stuff. I recently took him to my parents' house, where we visit often and they have a bunch of breakable and nice things. I would never ask or expect them to childproof for him. The world isn't childproof, and it's my job to watch my child and teach what he can and can't do. I do recognize that it's more difficult with a special needs kiddo, but it's a disservice to him not to try and teach him. I have 10-month-old twins and they are into everything. It drives my in-laws crazy that we don't come over more often. But I spent every visit keeping these two goobers alive. However, I would never dream of asking them to childproof their house. That's insane. Not a whole OP. When kids are in that phase, it makes sense that people come to you. Especially twins. They're going to be safer and more comfortable in a space they are used to, and you don't have to worry about them hurting themselves or breaking something that doesn't belong to them. Not a-hole. It's your house. Why would you childproof it when you don't have a need for that? She says she has to do that everywhere else already. Ah yes, welcome to being a parent, where your job is keeping your offspring alive and well 24/7. It's her job, so she can suck it up and watch her kid or not come at all. Damn, it appears I watch my dog better than most watch their children. Not a-hole. I truly do not remember ever being in a house with childproof anything as a kid, except medication containers. To be honest, I think we went a bit overkill for our daughter, but we were nervous new parents. However, I can see how having your home fully childproof would make things a lot easier if you have a kid like hers.